everyone, I'm your host Pensyfan19 and welcome to the August 2022 Pensyfan Periodical. This is a monthly news series which covers most of the major railroading headlines from around the world, as well as my opinions on them. We have a lot of articles to go over today, so with that in mind, let's get rolling. First off, this has been a very eventful month for railway preservation with many acquisitions and excursion runs alike, starting with the Reading and Northern, who held a doubleheader with 425 and recently restored 2102. Based on the success and fame of the Reading T1s, or Reading Ramblers, rail fans from across the nation have flocked to Jim Thorpe to see the iconic engines pull rail fans on former Reading trackage, and even ended up pulling a revenue freight train. Meanwhile, and continuing over from July, Union Pacific's Big Boy has finally started its West Coast excursion through Denver, resulting in a rare case of steam under the wires in 2022. Speaking of old technology and new equipment, Soon Line 1003 also saw excursion service along the metro system as the steam engine met with very old gallery cars and new MP36s. Over in California, Smart Train has canceled the Golden Gate Railroad Museum's proposed excursion of Southern Pacific 2472 due to faulty bridges, which has led to controversial claims from various local rail fans, but not all is lost for SP Pacific since sister engine 2479 was moved to the Niles Canyon Railway for its restoration. In the next state up, Albany Eastern has acquired Paulson Logging No. 2, while the Pineville Railway has sold their Shea. In terms of diesels, the Oregon Rail Heritage Center has acquired an XPNSF SW1000, while the West Virginia Central has acquired 5 former Elk River diesels, and hopefully to be preserved, EXO has retired the last of their single-level 700 series coaches and cab cars, which exclusively saw service on their Candiac line. Speaking of which, here's some interesting news. Nokian Tires has leased a SW1200 from the Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum for shunting service at their tire plant. The Wichita Falls Railroad Museum may consider selling most of their collection. A new study suggests you should spend more time sleeping than studying. A proposal exists to have overnight passenger service from Montreal to Boston along former Grand Trunk Western trackage. Eurostar is to discontinue direct service from London to Disneyland Paris. Multiple boxcars have been painted to help save monarch butterflies. A CSX Chivo led a short train consisting of a GATX SW1001 and a lumber car. Ferrari has recalled almost every single car they made since 2005 due to brake failures. And Great Western 7027 Thornbury Castle is to be converted into a star class. Now here's the follow-up news section for articles covering stories from previous episodes. Coaster F40 number 2103 has been delivered to the Pacific Southwest Railway Museum. A second V60 has been modernized by express services. Germany is considering UNESCO status for the pretzel. And the Long Island Railroad has started to open sections of their third track between Hicksville and Floral Park. Speaking of stations, work has begun for Buttetown Station, Amtrak has opened their refurbished Effingham, Illinois station, and congratulations to Frontrunner for opening Vineland, and for STEPTA for opening Wawa, and for adding a stub end siding right before the station for a possible restoration of the Octoraro branch. In other news, Argentinian Trains has restored service between Rosario and Canada de Gomez. China is planning on restoring service to Nepal, while Nigeria wants to build a new rail line to Benin. Train Sim World 3 has been revealed. Sadler has revealed Tina trains for HAL, while they started construction for Class 93s to Grand Union. CRRC has completed their first LRV for Portugal, while the same manufacturer has also revealed a Fuxing train set for Java High Speed Rail. CZ has released their first PKP Effie Shunter 300, while Skoda has released their Moravia MU for JMK. A Softronic Hyperion is advertising for the Greyman movie in Romania. An X-Pan M C40-8 has been repainted in the CSX colors. NS has exited the British rail franchising market, thus directly affecting Abellio Group. And Patriot Rail has acquired Pioneer Lines, thus causing the short line to nearly double in size. And happy 125th anniversary to Austrian name that I can't pronounce Mountain Railway, and happy 100th anniversary to EMD, which was beautifully celebrated by an EMD exhibition at the Illinois Railway Museum. After all that, it is now time for this month's Meme of the Month. This month's Meme of the Month is Union Pacific Y3. And now, the top story of the August 2022 Pensyfan Periodical is a private company considers Kenosha to Milwaukee commuter service. In a somewhat rare move from the state of Wisconsin, the state DOT is considering avenging the original Chicago and Northwestern commuter service by providing a direct connection to Milwaukee for Metro UP North Line travelers. This way, there can be direct local service from Chicago to Milwaukee without having to rely on semi-frequent Amtrak for service into the latter city. Similar to how Metrolink and Coaster provide direct commuter service from LA to San Diego to Oceanside. This sob story comes from a small 2-page post from WDOT, which describes passenger service along the former CNW corridor, which not only includes a total of 9 stations, including the former Racine, South Milwaukee, and Cudahy stations, but also some very interesting details. Such examples include the use of hydrogen-powered trains, which possibly hints at HMUs instead of local-hauled gallery cars, as well as the entire proposal being privately funded, with the state DOT posting the proposal as a required public sponsor. Said private company is Wisconsin Transit and Realty Group, a private corporation that will own and operate the commuter service if the FTA agrees to the plan, and there are no state funds associated with the project, as all costs will be paid by WTRG. This is essentially the same business model as Brightline, in which, although it may receive some help from the state government through bonds and debt sales, most of the funding will be coming from the company itself based on private sector funding, as well as real estate sales, instead of directly from taxpayer dollars. Considering Wisconsin has been reluctant to fund passenger rail service using state and taxpayer funds like Florida, I feel that the privately operated method will work great in this state, so this way residents aren't directly given the price tag of operating the railroad. So not only does this proposal restore the severed link between Kenosha and Milwaukee, but it also brings forth another Brightline. Now, technically this proposal has been vaguely considered since 1998, but to gain an official statement from the state DOT is definitely a step in the right direction, especially if it's getting this much attention from major railway news sources. Likewise, I would also appreciate it if this rail were to extend commuter service to other nearby cities, like Watertown, Janesville, and Fond du Lac, as those regions also haven't seen passenger service in decades and will be about the same distance from Milwaukee to Kenosha. If this commuter rail does end up being anything like Brightline, then I have great hope that this rail will not only be able to rival Amtrak by providing more service to Milwaukee, but also do so with style and efficiency as one of America's greatest commuter services. Thank you everyone for watching this month's episode of the Pensyfan Periodical. There have been a lot of rail news headlines for the month, and it will be very interesting to see what the future has in store for all of these articles. Thank you again for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Have a good day.